Well, well, well. Another episode down and more to come. In this particular episode, we have episode 24, also known as Rest, Team Rocket. In this episode, we're greeted with Team Rocket looking over what looks like blueprints or plans, probably to get their grubby hands on Pikachu. Then they are contacted by Team Rocket headquarters and meet up with Mattery, Giovanni's right-hand woman, or more accurately, an executive secretary. I guess she has the power of admin among the ranks. I instead of Archer, Athena, Proton, or Petrol, I guess they just decided to lump Mattery in without any hesitation in the end of Diamond and Pearl. I don't know what they really were thinking when they did that, or rather what her actual role is outside of being a secretary and I guess his second in command. Anyway, Jessie wasn't having it as Mattery is in Giovanni, and Jessie decides she wants nothing to do with Mattery and shuts off the feed, only for James to scramble and contact headquarters again. Then Mattery orders the trio to take a vacation from Order of Giovanni, and Giovanni is in air quotes as we'll see later in the episode. Finally, a vacation from it all. Meanwhile, back at Sakuragi Labs, Sakuragi has decided to send Ash and Go to the center region, more specifically the resort area, in order to get information on a mysterious Pokemon known as the Lord that happens to be in a lake at the resort area. So Ash and Go are on their way to the resort area. Anyway, we cut back to Team Rocket, who are just relaxing on a beach, thinking that they don't have to run into Ash and Pikachu. Well, much to their dismay, but guess who else is there? Ash, Pikachu, Go, and Reboot. Go get some directions from James, who utters a running gag in this episode. James and later Jessie utter the famous words, "me lads," I guess to sound different. Some people say "me lads" is an English-British thing. I guess. I wouldn't know, I'm American. It could be. I would fail to understand why they're acting English-British outside of, I guess, disguising themselves. I guess that's a way to make them different than Team Rocket normally, I guess. Anyway, they later meet up again at a shop as Ash and Go are trying to get fishing equipment to go fishing in the lake. James is all eager and willing to help, leaving Pikachu with Jessie and Meowth, which results in Jessie saving Pikachu from a boy on a skateboard not paying attention apparently. Which is weird because wouldn't you have to be zoned out in a zoned out state not to pay attention? Or maybe he saw what was about to happen and kind of froze up and just let whatever happen happen. Anyway, Ash and Go get their supplies thanks to James and they go fishing. Team Rocket appears slightly curious as to why Ash and Go are at the resort area and spy on them while they fish. Go catches a Goldeen and promptly catches it. Promptly being probably not the right word there. After he Pokedexes it, then he catches it. Ash then catches a Magikarp, and with Ash's permission, Go catches that as well. Then they proceed to catch nothing but Magikarp and Goldeen, which they find disappointing, as none of them are the Lord Pokemon they are looking for. I neglected to put this in my notes, but as a side, this is a reference to the resort area in Diamond and Pearl, where you can fish Magikarp, Goldeen, Seaking, Gyarados, depending on the rod. But that was changed in Platinum, where all you get is, I believe, Magikarp, because for reasons I don't know. I mean, I think you can still surf for like Psyduck and Golduck or whatever, but they weren't exactly surfing, and surfing and fishing are apparently two different things. Anyway, Go uses the Octillery lure that James helped pick out, and then a large Pokemon is hooked and needs the Team Rocket trio to help pull out this massive Pokemon. As a quick aside, sometime somewhere during this, Mattery arrives to a Team Rocket base and they have plans. And I believe this is when they started, before they started fishing or around that time. I don't quite remember. I just remember Mattery talking about something that could be relating to Team Rocket or whatever, the Team Rocket trio, and then Jessie, she either sneezes or gets shudders, I can't remember which one it was, as one of those like foreshadowing, character linking things that happen in the anime, and it was when they were looking, it was at the time that they were like looking out at Ash and Go for the sneezing, like when a character talks about a particular character, the other character will just magically sneeze because that's how that works apparently. I don't know, it's some cultural thing, I believe. Anyway, back to fishing. Ash, Go, Team Rocket Trio pull out this massive Pokemon, the Lord of the Lake, and it turns out to be a massive Magikarp. Probably the biggest Magikarp ever after the Magikarp submarine Team Rocket uses, which isn't actually a Pokemon, but a submarine. Anyway, Go tries to catch it, fails at first, then uses Oddish's sleep powder to put it to sleep, and then promptly catches it. Team Rocket Trio try to leave, presumably because they want to get away from Ash and Go, until suddenly an explosion of sorts happens at the hotel. I think that's what Go or Ash refer to it as. Ash and Go and the Team Rocket Trio in secret check it out, only to find that Mattery and her elite units stealing everyone's Pokemon. During this time, Mattery makes it clear she lied to Team Rocket Trio, calling them failures or people or trio that gets in their way, or problems, I should say, as she said she made her problems go on vacation. And it turned out it was her order specifically to make the trio go on a vacation. And this had nothing to do with Giovanni at all, apparently. And this, of course, was at the shock of Team Rocket. And then, of course, Jessie got really angry and mad later on because this was all Mattery's plan to get more attention from Giovanni. Anyway, Ash sends out Pikachu and Raylu while Go fights with Reboot. But since we're dealing with the Team Rocket Elite and have fully evolved Pokemon in the form of Rhyperior, Skuntank, Purugly, and Toxicroak, Ash and Go basically get their butts handed to them, and they end up abducting Ash's Pikachu, with Officer Jenny magically coming in at the last moment being like, "What just happened? I just got here, I don't know anything," or something to that effect. Anyway, Team Rocket cheer up Ash by telling them their plans to help Go release the Pokemon, although the real plan is so that they want to abduct the Pokemon themselves so they can take credit for it and get the praise from Giovanni. But as you'll hear later, that doesn't work out. Anyway, it's time for a rematch, and Go uses the giant Magikarp he has, which has a devastating splash attack because it's heavy. Meanwhile, of course, Ash and James are releasing these Pokemon from their cages. Mattery gets involved and they try to fight, but then Mattery realizes she's in way overhead as all the Pokemon team up to go up against her and the Team Rocket counts. Then Officer Jenny arrives and they manage to escape by blocking their path and getting in the helicopter and flying away. Officer Jenny, Ash, Go and thank the Team Rocket trio, though they don't know it's Team Rocket, for their help, and when asked for their names, Jessie almost reveals who they are before James and Meowth take her away. And the reason that they themselves can abduct the Pokemon is because all eyes are on them as heroes, and with Officer Jenny there, they just decide to shrug their shoulders and move on from this. Anyway, it cuts to the Team Rocket trio base, and Mattery contacts them, and she looks exhausted while the Team Rocket trio look chipper, like, "Oh, we had a vacation, it was fantastic, we're refreshed and ready to go." So Mattery puts them back in action. The episode ends with Go's giant Magikarp in water at Sakuragi Lab, and then it jumps really high and crashes outside of the dome and comes down with a giant splash, making Sakuragi and his research assistants wet, while Go and Ash ran away before that happened. The episode ends with the narrator finishing the gag for the episode with "Me lads." So while I did prefer the previous episode to this one, it did have more going for it, hence why the summary is longer than the previous one. And as a positive, I did like this episode more than the Ditto episode. I guess because you kind of knew what you're going to get with this episode, a Team Rocket focused filler based on their character, rather than hopeful, meaningful development episode I was hoping out of the Ditto episode, until they decided to just turn the episode into filler. So I guess with lower expectations of this episode, it did turn out to be better. Also, I do like that Ash is using Riolu a lot, because if it's going to evolve earlier than some of Ash's Pokemon, like 15 to 30 episodes rather than 60 episodes or whatever, it's good that we don't sparingly see it being used. I like the idea of it currently being part of like a trio, Pikachu, Reboot, and Riolu at the moment. because it's really cute and it's really nice to see. What I didn't like about this episode, though I will have to give it a pass since they probably did it because they were trying to fit a narrative they were going for, since this was a Team Rocket episode and it needed to focus on them, is that while I do appreciate the Riolu focus, I'm a bit upset that Ash doesn't seem to take Gengar or Dragonite with him to these places, because I just don't believe Pikachu nor Riolu at the moment are going to be handle these hulking beasts of fully evolved Pokemon. Like Dragonite and Gengar would really help, make it easier for Ash to, be able to stop Team Rocket Elite, apparently. Although I didn't like that Pikachu struggled so much against Toxicroak, it seemed a little bit weird. I do have to give the writers props here for poisoning Pikachu and then following it up with Venoshock, which doubles the damage of poison Pokemon. It at least made it more believable these Team Rocket Elite members were elite members of Team Rocket and obviously much stronger than the Team Rocket trio that Ash has to deal with on a constant basis. Also, I'm kind of meh on the Me Lads gag. It was fun to read, I suppose, and the subtitles, I guess, since they were emphasizing it, apparently, throughout the episode as a gag. But I feel this gag might be annoying once the dub is out, but I guess we'll just have to see. And at least at the moment, it does seem to be for this episode. Please, writers, please, for this episode only, kind of, sort of. I really don't need Ash and Ghost saying Me Lads in every episode. That'll just get more annoying quickly than it would be funny, but I guess we'll just have to see what happens. Though, I suppose if it's used to slightly annoy Koharu, then maybe it's not too bad, although I don't know why they would say me lad. They'd probably say, hello there, me lass, or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, next episode is the most hype episode we're going to get, and that's going to be the Ash versus Karina rematch in the hopes that Ash can rank up in the Pokemon World Championships. It's also, and this is also exciting, it's also on the same day as the world's largest salt mine will be opening. Man, what a coincidence that is. Anyway, thank you for watching. Leave your comments in the comment section below with your thoughts and opinions of the episode, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.